Hey peoples, Karina here, coming to you with this video. As you see, the title is below. Needs to talk about this because this is going to go with the video that I made yesterday. This is going to go with the video that I made yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but anyway, let me just go ahead and get off into it. Not only does how can I say this, because I don't want to offend people, but I need to get this out because somebody dealing with it, and the whole purpose of the interference was to not let it come through. To anybody trying to stop this video being made because you feel like it's a bash towards you, it's not. To anybody that's saying that they care for me, yet you don't want my growth, I'm not going to just lay down and stop fighting for what I know is in me. Now, I'm sorry if you're watching a video or somewhere watching me and kind of upset with the fact that I can notice certain things, whether they want to admit it or don't admit it. It still is what it is. This video is being made in love, and just to say some things because I know people have dealt with this in their family life, and sometimes it'll pop back up around in your existence again for you to know, hey, this is not the person saying this to you. This is a spirit that is using a person to say this to you. They might be unaware of it. Some people are unaware of it. Some people are not. Okay? But I'm making this video to let you know. Everybody ain't against you. Some people, you force them to look at the parts of their life that they need to heal. And maybe you purging affects them, but when they purge to you, it affects you too. Because if I've gotten over childhood issues and you still haven't, then that's going to cause me to dig deeper into certain things that happened as a child to say, did you really get over that? A lot of it, yes. So it's no hate, it's no shade, it's no nothing. It's all strictly just what it is. If you love me, I love you. But when you love people, you hear them out for what they're saying. You can choose to disagree or you can choose to agree. But the fact of the matter is, we all have to own up to the parts that we play when we come to making people feel some type of way. Giving this example from when I was a child. And on up to young adulthood, I'm going to say. Not as a child, but young adulthood. Because I'm 40 now. But this right here, I kept letting happen, okay? My dad would constantly do things to help me while he was the person who was tearing me down. Some people come into your life and portray themselves as a savior, like, unless I do this for you, you ain't gonna get it. And sometimes that what make your relationship with God weak, when you always expect that other people are gonna hold your hand and do everything for you. And it's like some people come to help you in certain areas, not always financially. Sometimes people come into your life to help you in spiritual matters. Sometimes people come into your life to help you just in so many different ways. people can come into your life to help you. Everything is not always money, okay? Some things is spiritual growth, some things, and sometimes when God sends people in your life for them to help you, sometimes you won't know it unless the person tell you. But that works both ways, and you causing them to look at other areas in their life too that they don't want to face. See, like with my daddy, he basically would do things for me, and then the moment I got, some people will give you a penny. If you a penny is short on something, I'm going to use that as an example. And then once you knock that penny short, they'll be like, oh, so you up now. But you never bragged about the fact that you fought hard to work, to do the things you needed to do, to get what you needed to get. I need to go rewarm this coffee, but we still gonna talk. Let me see if it's hot enough. Nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'll probably warm it for the next video because it was a little cool in here, so I'd cut the AC off. And it cooled off my coffee like hella hard because the AC vent is like right over my head on the other side. So anyway, like I said, this video is not to bash anyone. Everybody goes through things, and sometimes people will bleed on other people that didn't hurt them. And it's not that they can help it. Hell, there's been times I bled on people that didn't hurt didn't hurt me. If we want to keep it real, that's one thing I love about me. If I can tell you the bad that's ever happened, then when you see the good, you have no right to say that I was just born with a silver spoon in my mouth, because that's not the case. A lot of people who are in a blessed place have not been born with a silver spoon in their mouth, okay? But when you constantly have people doing stuff like bow to me, and if I didn't do this for you in your life, it'll never got done. Don't you know God would have sent somebody else to do that? If we say we're vessels, and this man used to go to church all the time, took me to church all the time, yet while mistreating his family in the background. You know what I'm saying? So he used to do things for me, but he would still throw sneak disses, small little digs, crazy stuff, whatever like that. And other stuff he's done. And it bothered me so much to where when I prayed about it and I was like, God, I need to let this man know all of the damage that he done. Not just verbally, not just mentally, but also some physical damage. Physical damage. Not to my person, but physical damage to things around me due to he had this energy of everywhere he stepped. If it was a blessed place, that place turned to total shit. He had that type of energy. And that's why everybody just backed away from his life. People go through stuff. But you can always come out of stuff if you acknowledge, identify everything that's been happening, things that's what's been going on. If you choose to see it and do nothing about it, it's the same thing as you, like when you ignore what you know you need to do, you become guilty in playing the part of hurting other people. Now, if I hurt anyone and you come and you tell me, say you knew that this triggered me and you still did it, then yeah, you're going to need to tell me about myself. However, if I trigger you in an area that you never told me about and I offend you, you still need to tell me. And then we need to figure out why did something I say trigger you. Okay? So I told this man, all the shit that he done and why I felt the way that I felt. And he basically got on defense mode. He was like, he started, and I'm not going to say I am after nothing that I'm about to say, because that ain't my life and that ain't my narrative. But he said, he started bringing up all his ailments. He started saying, you come over here attacking me, and he say he was sick, and he had diabetes real bad, and he had glaucoma real bad, and he had neuropathy real bad, and he had everything else real bad, and you worrying me to death. You gonna make me feel some type of way, like you don't care. It's like, no, if I didn't care, remember the times when you called me and you needed me and I dropped everything to be there, even though I know you had ill intentions for me and I'm your daughter. I still came through. Like your most embarrassing times, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when people are there for you in your darkest hour and then they're going through something and you accuse that person of not caring for you, then I think that's bullshit. You know, I cared for you even while you were yet hurting me, even yet while your energy was hurting me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know nothing about all that at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he called and he told me, well, you got $20 or $30 that I can buy some food for me and your mama and your little sister. My heart immediately dropped in the pit of my stomach, because I was like, I didn't answer for a couple of minutes. My daddy said, hello, you still there? I said, yeah, I'm processing real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna come and bring it, but I'm feeling some type of way. And what was going through my mind at that point was, this man told me how I wasn't shit. And this man told me how what I do for a living ain't shit. And how you can do this and how you can do that. But, you know, he would spend all of his money to please other people, giving away everything. And then the stuff that he gave away, nobody else came to check on him or see this or that. They already knew he had this nature to just give to people, but it wasn't in his nature to give to them out of sincere caring for them. It was out of, I want control, and if I give you something that you need, you will always come back to me type of control. And that's the most dangerous type of control in the world that anybody can have on you. Sometimes I just feel like I don't even know how I left that type of situation. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know how I left that situation. There had to be nobody but God. But then, you know, sometimes those same spirits will try to come through and try to fuck with other people to make them feel like, okay, well, if I don't do this for you, then you can't get further in life. And that's the biggest lie. You know, some people come into our life to help us. Some people ain't meant to be forever people in our life. Even if it's your family. They your family, but they're not always meant to be forever people in your life. Sometimes people will make it like you don't care about them when you're going through your stuff. And it's like, what happened in that person's life that made you think that? Did the person come and tell you, did the person just flat out tell you, hey, I'm still thinking about this, or I'm processing this, and will accuse me of not caring when I was always like dropping my everything to go and see about you? But it wasn't really just to go see about you. I was more concerned for my mama and my little sister. So that's what that was about. But when I would tell him the things, you know, just to let go, because some people can actually have conversations with people that hurt them and like let them go. But I've noticed whenever I try to have conversation with people and I try to let them go, they will make strong points of why I need them in my life, or they'll say, well, I love you, you're my daughter, or I love you, you're my friend, and this and that, but the energy says you don't want me in your life. I'm just a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan. And sometimes you accuse people of their feelings not being legit and say that they're being used by some type of entity because they are confronting you. Now, you're being used by an entity when you can't go to a person and confront them on their behavior, but you wait and you let it piled up, and then all the shit that you could ever think of that you find is that you deem as wrong with the person, you spew it out all at once when you know that that person has triggers that they did not heal, thus hurting them worse, making them feel like that they have no way out and that you're the only person that can help them. God uses people as vessels. And the moment I cut him off and I stopped telling him what I needed and shit, only for him to do it and then 2 or 3 weeks later tell me that he done it, when he call and say, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Some people you can't tell your good news to, even if it's real small. Say you found a quarter outside and they'd be like, It's like, wow, you don't even deem me worthy of a quarter? What's that all about? Sometimes people will use sympathy on you. Even though they're hurting you, they will use sympathy to be like, feel bad for me because of this. Feel bad for me because of that. How dare you confront me? If you give me and then would tell my mama, oh, this girl gonna give me a heart attack. Like, I'm not screaming at you. I'm not yelling at you. That is the demon in them trying to push you away so that that person don't have to hear what they done. And that's why you got to really be able to trust your discernment. You can't let people gaslight you into thinking that the only way up is to come through me. Are you God? No, you're not God. So he ended up in the same predicament as my grandfather before my grandma died, to where everybody saw through the bullshit and they just left. And it's like he would constantly try to prove to my old feeble ass grandpa that his life was together. But whenever he needed something as a grown man, he still called and told. Now, let me say this here. If you are a grown man and you go to your daddy for help for something and y'all have that type of relationship that's give and take and it's like out of sincerity, by all means, keep that type of relationship. I'm talking about those parents that do stuff for the child and then bring it back up to the child once they get on their feet. If it wasn't for me. And it's not just family that will do that. It's not just family that'll do that. It could be anybody. So that's why I feel like God is showing me that, look, if you left your family alone and you stop needing them to do this and stop needing to do that. Because look, the things that they've helped me acquire, I had lost those things and got them back without asking him for help. If you feel like that another person can control what you get in your life, or if they leave your life, those things will leave, then they didn't do those things for you out of love. Before you do anything for anybody, I don't care if it's even much praying for that person or God touch your heart to do anything for that person, and then they get a result. before you do that, ask yourself, do I want the glory, or do I just want this person to see that God loves them? Ask that question. Because believe it or don't, by keeping a record of things that you do for other people, it might make you feel good, but it makes the other person that you're helping feels worse, okay? So just keep that in mind. I just wanted to throw that out there. Everybody goes through things. Or maybe you might have friends that'll swear up and down you don't love them because you're facing things in your life that, like, if you never take a look at your life and say, well, God gave me everything else I wanted, but not my twin flame yet. God provides for me in every way possible, but that one thing was the thing that hadn't came to you yet. I didn't ask for a big old house. I didn't ask for a big old nice car. I didn't ask for material things. I asked for the things that'll last forever. I'm thankful for things that get me where I need to go. I am thankful that I can wake up and be able to think for myself and process pains when I feel them. Nobody's perfect. See, the people that strive the hardest to show everyone that they're perfect are hurting the worst behind closed doors. This man was going through it. So we got to be careful. It's like when we have this unhealed wound in us to please our family that will never accept us, we tend to want to go out and find people to help so that in some type of way people will look to us. And my thing is this: if anybody has ever done anything for me and we are no longer speaking, just know that I don't hate you. Just know that it's going to be okay. Whoever made you feel inadequate or unworthy of love and appreciation, just know, if I ever once loved you, I still love you. Some people will part relationships and friendships on a sour note and make enemies. Why make an enemy with somebody when you have enough enemies already? You know what I'm saying? People that say they don't have no enemies, I think that's a bullshit lie. Everybody has an enemy. It's just sometimes they're not known to you. So I'm not sitting up here saying I know everything, because I do not. But what I am saying is, I don't ever want to do anything for anybody that will cause them to look at me as if I'm God, because I am not God. If I do anything for you, it's because I want to do it, because I always wanted people to actually not give to me with ill intentions. If I give you something out of the goodness of my heart, 9 times out of 10, if I give you something and I know you can't give it back to me, but I gave it freely because you needed it. Hell, there's been times when people on the street would just ask me for a quarter, or people would ask me for $1, or somebody asked me for a cigarette and I give it to them, and swear and be damned, the next time they see me, they feel obligated to always speak to me. They feel obligated to always throw kind words at me. They feel obligated to always, it's like continual praise. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Just take what was given to you, especially if I asked you nothing in return. Just take it and say thank you, because there's some people that are coming into our lives that God has instructed to do certain things for us. And we're supposed to say thank you, show gratitude, or whatever that person came into your life to do for you, you strive to do it for others, like pay it forward type stuff. But I think a lot of right now, a lot of people wouldn't have had that courage to walk away from family who kept them latched on by doing things for them. Or maybe you got successful in life and you feel the need to tell the family, well, I made it, I done it. Sometimes we can think that people are doing witchcraft on our life, but some stuff, everything ain't always magic. Everything ain't always magic. Some stuff, well, to an extent, yes, but sometimes if you get somewhere that people who hate you said that you were never going to get, and you feel the need to rub it in their face and say, oh, you said I wasn't going to do this, you said I wasn't going to do that, I'm doing it, bitches, then that is a part of you that is not healed. I did that before, and I decided that me not coming to you and asking you for a favor should be proof enough that God is taking care of me. Me being able to do the things that I need to do in life and can actively face myself. What makes me tick? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? Then I'm okay. I don't have to prove anything to none of my family members. Because even if you try to prove that you're good, they still gonna find some area in your life to attack. So don't provoke them. Sometimes we lose things when we do that, because that is a spirit of pride. And if you don't want to lose anything that you value and you cherish, never get too nose in the air to where it's pushing out this energy that I'm better than you. They see that you're better than them. They see it. And that's why they're coming for you, because they see that you succeeded in areas that they said you wouldn't. They see it. You don't have to go out of your way to make them see it. They see it. Trust me, they see it. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And there's another one that I want to do a little bit later. So let me go and go back over my notes. Sit with it for a minute, and I will come back with another video. Talk to y'all in a minute. Bye.